Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor. I'm watching the Clemson, South Carolina baseball game, and right now South Carolina is putting it on them. They're giving Clemson everything that they can handle. Rivalry game, so I thought it might be fun to watch. Anyway, Mississippi State's playing right now, but I can't find that on TV. We've had storms in this part of the country today, and looks like they're kind of subsiding. Anyway, this is from Ed French, at Ed French 12. I saw this on Twitter. It says, after a recent tax increase, the Japanese government is offering a 5% tax discount for using digital currencies. Another example of expanding adoption. Now, I went and I looked at the article, and there was a look. They're talking about in Japan, so the translation wasn't very good, and so. But if this is the way that he says it here, that's huge. I mean, Japan, my prediction has always been that Japan really is going to be where XRP takes off before anything. And like I've said in previous videos, if we get nothing but something out of Japan, I think XRP is going to explode in that market alone. But I don't think it'll be limited to that. I'm just saying that I see that as the worst case scenario. Okay, moving along. This is pretty cool. I just saw this today. If I can get my slow computer to, okay, here we go. This is from PhDJ at PhDJDoes tweets. Okay, and this was a pretty interesting thing. He's put a lot of different YouTubers in here. You had Sam I Am, you had Jungle Inc., and then he's got DM Logic, and then there's Alex Cobb, and then he's got me, since I don't show my face, and he's got CKJ, and then he's got Crypto Airy. I'm drawing a blank on this guy's name, and I know and then this is Kung Fu Nerd. The other guy, I think he's Thinking Crypto is what his name is. And then I don't know all these guys. But anyway, you should go and watch this. It's a pretty cool little video that they put together. And they were just basically talking about how all of us are kind of helping to move this along and hopefully change the world. But I appreciate those kind of videos. I'm going to do a retweet of this because I appreciate when people make efforts like this. Okay, next. This is from Bank XRP, at Bank XRP. He's an old school guy in the community. Getting closer to, now if you hear anything, I got two kids, two little 6-year-olds coming in, and my son's having somebody over to play. So if you hear a bunch of yelling and carrying on, that's what it'll be. Getting closer to mass adoption. Ripple's partner SBI is investing $15 million in blockchain smart card wallet producer Tangem. And then it says, and then he goes on to say, cash-like Tangem notes enable off-chain physical transactions. Just hand over the card, 0 fee, immediate validation, no digital trace. Let's see if they said anything. Yeah, so it's pretty. You're just seeing more and more adoption. I mean, we're going. It's amazing to me. It seems like with every passing day, it's like one more thing and another thing and another thing and another thing. I've compared this before for XRP as just tons of water building against a dam. Not just XRP, but digital assets in general. Bear markets do not last forever, and this bull, I mean, the water that has collected against this dam in terms of good news and adoption and the regulatory certainty that's happening around the world, when this thing goes off, it is going to go off. But that's why I'm here, is just to keep showing you all of the things that are happening and so that down the road we're going to be like, wow, we knew it was coming, and we were looking at all the things, and we saw all this all around us, and it never would move, and then all of a sudden it's going to move out of nowhere. It's going to happen out of nowhere, and it's not going to be tied to any one little thing. It's just going to be boom. Okay, this is from C3 Nick. Slow transaction times for Bitcoin lead to arbitrage traders losing money. Faster assets such as XRP can offer new opportunities for them, an asset which can be transferred between exchanges in seconds. More volume, more liquidity, tighter spreads. This is just one reason out of the many, many reasons that that XRP is far better. That's the thing that I'm always left scratching my head. I see all of these FUD things and all the pieces where they try to talk bad about XRP. But my obvious question is, if you can come up with all of this bad about XRP, just imagine the article you could write about the negatives of Bitcoin. I mean, if you wanted to write a negative article about a digital asset and you targeted Bitcoin the way they try to target XRP, it would be unbelievable. Okay, the information. I mean, there's just so many reasons. The other thing, you like I've said before, you never ever hear these Bitcoin people say anything about XRP's technology because they can't compare the two. There is no comparison. Next, Leonidas. He interviewed the guy, the guy that's doing Cinnamon Video. He interviewed, I guess it's the founder of Cinnamon Video, and he's from Czech Republic, I believe, and his name is Robert, and I don't even know how you say that. But he interviews him on his website, which is xrparcade.com. And let me show you, but if you give him a follow on Twitter, then go to his website. But here's his Twitter handle. Then go to his website. This is the interview. And this is the guy, his name's, whatever I just said. There it is. Robert, whatever. Introducing Cinnamon. Now, apparently, I read the article, and apparently he worked at Coil first, and then he went off to do Cinnamon. And he says in this article that Cinnamon Video, first I'll tell you where the name does not have anything to do with the digital asset investor, if that's what you're thinking. I do put cinnamon in my coffee, but has no relation to this. This is a combination of the word cinema and the word monetize. Cinnamon. That's how they came up with this. It's in the article. And so, but if you go, let's see, I may not be able to find it. What's your target market? The XRP Arcade asking, what's your target market? Do you plan on expanding beyond Coil users to expand your reach? Anyone on YouTube, Vimeo, and Twitch. So they are literally wanting to become like a YouTube, but the only difference is they don't want to have ads and all of that business. What they want is while people are watching a content provider's video, the content provider will be paid while it's being watched, which is a totally different model, and that could change a lot. So that's great. We're going to be all over that. Okay, and this, if you want to follow this guy, the guy that's running Cinnamon Video, this is his handle at TARABCAK. All right, next. Okay, this is something that I've talked about in the past, but there's a lot of you who have never seen this. It's a very eye-opening little piece of video here, and this is from at XRPAKL. Don't fall for any FUD you see flying around about XRP. Check out what Forbes has to say about XRP. Just watch a snippet of this video to understand how the whales roll. Sometimes FUD is a good thing. Wind Moon. They're linking to one of those Forbes articles that was bashing XRP. And what you're seeing here, this is that the guy, I think his name's Tika Tawari. I think I said that right. He was on Glenn Beck's show a few months back, and in this segment he starts showing you all the bashing of digital assets and Bitcoin that went on from Jamie Dimon and some of the other major high-profile people in traditional finance, and he put it on a timeline, and then he shows you how while they were making those negative statements in the media to drive the price down, behind the scenes, their companies are actually buying Bitcoin and digital currencies. And so when you see this stuff, like I told you yesterday, the people that own Forbes now, one of the owners of Forbes literally was one of the founders of ASUS, which creates mining hardware. And you can't mine XRP, but you can mine Bitcoin and all the proof of work cryptocurrencies. I'm not saying that means anything, but I'm saying it at least at a minimum is a conflict of interest for Forbes to be writing all these negative articles while one of the people that owns Forbes started a company that creates hardware used for mining. That ought to at least be in their disclaimers, is what I'm saying. All right. Okay, so moving on. This was from Sergeant Obi-Wan. Bloomberg, crypto companies still run into trouble opening bank accounts. And I'm not going to go through this whole article. I'm just going to say we're still at a point where these banks are so freaked out, as they should be. They're not letting, I'm sure some are, but they're not. People that are in the blockchain business are having a hard time opening bank accounts because these banks are terrified. They'll tell these people, oh, well, it's KYC and all that. What it really is they're terrified. They don't want these people to be able to run a business because they know what's going to happen to their business. Next, and this kind of ties in with that. I keep telling you, just like Amazon has put Sears and Kmart out of business, look what's happening to the malls. This is from Zero Hedge. The next big short trade is back. Malls are on the cusp of an implosion again. And this is a Zero Hedge article showing how all these malls are closing down their stores. And this is the article. It says over the last 48 hours, several big names in the American mall industry announced they would be slashing store counts to the tune of over 300 stores. And then this, overall since 2016, 35 major retail chains and countless smaller ones have filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. This is just a list of some of them and when they filed. And this is all 2016, 17, and 18. Well, that's what happens when the internet comes along and Amazon can sell you anything and have it to your door within a day or two. This is what happens. Same thing, and that was the internet of information. And now we're talking about the internet of value. And the internet of value is going to do to banks what the internet of information and Amazon did to these on-the-ground retail stores. There will be a day when the only businesses you're going to go in is going to be things like grocery stores where the food has to be fresh to be edible and things like that, or restaurants and or maybe service-oriented things that are on the ground like gas stations and tire places and that type of thing. But these retail, it doesn't make any sense. Well, I don't ever go to stores. I mean, why would I go to a store when I can just go online and order whatever I want, push a button, and that's that. And I have a selection of anything. It doesn't make any sense to have a store. And it doesn't make any sense for a bank to have a physical bank building. When the middleman is not needed any longer, what is the point of that bank? Okay. And this is from Crypto Utility Guy. I've talked a lot about how there's a whole group of people, including owners in Ripple, that will not say the words Ripple or XRP unless they're asked. And so I thought this was funny. Crypto Utility Guy at John Heyman 7 says, banker to retail investor, join my Bitcoin plus alts fund. Banker to banker, you do not talk about XRP. And I would go a step further. It's not just banker to banker. It's anybody who's involved in Bitcoin. This is their rule. What this is a reference to is the movie Fight Club. I think they said rule 1, you do not talk about Fight Club. And so that's what that's a reference to. And then I saw this picture and I thought it was really cool. I used it in my last video, so I wanted to give some credit. XRP Veteran had posted this. The future looks bright. Like if you think the same. So I'll like because I used his picture here. in my last video. Next, okay, this is pretty interesting. This person it was a reply to one of Anthony Pompliano's tweets, but I looked at it. Sovereign funds, 7.5. You want to talk about perspective, folks? Look at this. Just listen real closely. Look at these numbers. This is the money of the world. Sovereign funds, 7.5 trillion. Pension funds, 18.1 trillion. Stock market, 73 trillion. Mutual funds, 40 trillion. Real estate, 228 trillion. Wealth, 317 trillion. Money, 80 trillion. Gold, 7.5 trillion. ETFs, 5 trillion. And then it says at the bottom, it says, still think you missed the boat. We haven't even figured out. I don't even know what the rest of this says. I didn't see it. But you talking about perspective. Now I want you to just think. What we're looking at with digital assets right now, 129 billion as of today. Folks, this is the first new digital assets are the first new asset class since the year 1696, I believe, with the creation of bonds by the Bank of England. But this is the asset to eat them all, to eat all other asset classes. This is the asset class. And you want to, anybody who does not think, I mean, we've been in a prolonged bear market, big deal. You think that this 129 billion in this scheme is anything? What's coming, what is to come? It's not like, what's so great about this is it's not like there's some mystery as to whether Wall Street is going to open up digital asset firms and then begin to sell it to the public. It's all around you. You're seeing it every day. If you watch my channel, I'm showing you every day about how this one's coming in, this one's coming in. Here's an advertisement. Now somebody's advertising on the subways or a billboard or commercials. We know it's coming. And when you look at these numbers and you compare those numbers to this, it wouldn't take much at all for your life to change inside of a couple of months in this space. That's how young this all is. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe and hit the like button and tell your friends and family that $129 billion is peanuts. This industry hasn't even gotten started yet. Thank you for listening.